Nerf Clan Blitzers, it's Ronan. Welcome back to the channel. We got two masteries today. First, by our clan lead, Artillery Arthur, driving his Helsing. Tune partner is Lek, driving the Lupus. And from what Arthur said, this is his first mastery after like 500 or 600 or some 100 games. So definitely wanted to show this one. So, you know, the Helsing is a unique tank, and first of all, it's a new bay, and you see that Lek and Arthur wisely choose to avoid the park from this side and go to the bridge. You know, the bridge has its advantages and disadvantages. Arthur is demonstrating the disadvantage of having only, I think it's -6 gun depression on the Helsing there by not being able to pen the T-28, who seems like a clueless noob. But he does a really nice job of flanking him, getting 2 quick shots into Helsing. The Helsing is such a finisher. And gets one thing that Arthur does here. The Helsing has troll front armor. It really does. Troll for what it is, a fast, you know, TD, basically light TD. And Arthur there dispatches the Panther with ease, and then goes back to help Lek with a P-43. You know, in the start of this match, you're seeing kind of a traditional new base strategy here. They lured some poor idiots into this, and I thought it was actually going to be a very boring game. It's 6 against 3 right now with only, with 5 minutes 20 seconds left to go. But what you're noticing is the enemy team has 3 heavies left, and they've already capped B and C, and they have the cap lead is going to be in their favor because they have 2 bases capped, or 2 bases already capped versus 1 on the good guys team. And there you see it's a full health Lao, and you know, Arthur and Lek actually have their hands full here because they had a decision there. Did they go charge the Lao? I probably would have, but I think this was a strategic decision that they made, to realizing that they're going to spend a lot of time as 2 tier 7s with those big nasty tier 8s, or their big nasty heavies. And then you see it's an Action X as well, and a Lao. And instead, they need to make sure they flip the bases. Now, I think this Action X, unfortunately, is an idiot and would have won the match for them had he stayed with his teammates, which is, you know, fundamental 101. You got to stay with your teammates in this game, or have some ability to cover. And you see Arthur is doing here what you can do to an Action X. You know, the size of the Action X are nothing special. They're big, and this guy just missed a shot with a tank that has like .289 or something dispersion. So the guy's not a very good player. But you see the 2 are still over there. Now Lek's going to help, but Arthur makes the call here, a really good call of, hey, we got to get bases. We're going to lose this thing on points. And that's exactly what was going to happen. And you see those heavies from the enemies are actually heading towards A. So you have a scenario that if you went over there, they get on A, you're SOL. Meanwhile, they've got to get these things capped, and this Pantera idiot is not going to help. So Lek goes to B, Arthur to C, and they are trying to even the score here. You see they're down by 690 to 507. That's a big deficit. And this is when this game gets interesting. You realize now it's 4 against 2, but again, Pantera's an idiot. Your VK-32 is one of the worst tanks in the game, and they got 2 tier 8 heavies against them, which is not a pretty significant challenge. So what Arthur does here, which I think gets into mastery, is he uses his brain and lets them come to him to the park. The best place to be at New Bay is in the park. There, and I misspoke that Lycan is a tier 7 heavy, but you see that Lycan was full health. Arthur puts 2 into his side. Not an easy thing. That Lycan's got troll armor, and then he turns again. Arthur does another nice job there. 2 more in his side, gets him down to 110. And the Lao, however, he's still got a lot of hit points. Arthur backs up. This is where Arthur starts to get a little bit lucky here. Lek clears him with the Lupus. It's, by the way, now 2 against 1. Somehow 2 idiots died. But this low is charging, and you see he's got 1,000 hit points, which is still a very large amount. Arthur tracks him, hits him for 167, but Lek is very, very low on hit points. I know it's harder to see that. And Arthur goes in for the kill. I thought this was kind of reckless by Arthur, but this is when a mastery is made. He bounces the shot from the Lao right in his front, and there comes Lek flanking around there. Arthur pounds him twice inside, bounces another shot. And the Lao is now down to just 19 hit points. Arthur flips over to APCR, aims true, and finishes him off. Terrific game, great game by both Lek and Arthur. Mastery for Arthur. As you can see there, 3167 damage, 4 kills. Lek, 1597 damage and a kill. Well done. Both of you guys, terrific game. That guy wasn't a great player. I was actually surprised to see that, but you know, he was top tier and played well. You can see some of Arthur's dimensions there. Overall, you know, I thought it was a really well played game. A little bit of luck and bouncing at the end, but a terrific effort by Arthur. All right, to our next game. We have the Red Plague in the JgPz E100, the monster derp.
in Middleburg, and he is going town. He says, go to hell, I do what I want. That's what Red always says. And he is going to cap A, and right away he sees there is a mouse over in town. I do not know what this mouse was really up to. He was side scraping kind of far away. Red switches it, actually kept on an AP and slaps him in the cheek. You know, that is the way to treat a mouse, because there's a lot of hit points there. You need to get them quickly. So that was a beautiful way to start the match. However, his team is in town, and the enemy team capped C and B. So you've automatically assumed that you are down by points. Red plays this tank like I think it should be played. I don't think that JgPz is actually a sniper. It's not a very accurate tank, and it has some armor. I mean, actually really good armor. And used correctly, you can push with it. And it's just pounding the ST1 or I, whatever the hell that is, right in the front. And this ST1 is bleeding hard. Right now it's still 7 against 7, but quickly the points are adding up. It's almost 500 to 3 to around 400. So Red knows his team is down on points and he's got to do something, and he realizes his flank. So he just turns around in front of a T-57, which is reckless, some might say, but he bounces a shot, so he goes all the way around. You know, the thing with the JgPz is it does have troll armor. Some people say it's not great armor, but it's great. And then it does bounce a ton of shot if you angle it. And the sides are strong. And I think one of the keys to it is, like the other tanks of its class, you've just got to angle your armor and turn all the time. So right now you're looking at a slight gun advantage, 6 against 5. And Red sees this, I believe that's T92 coming down the hill. Unfortunately, he can't get the shot off. And he's sitting here in the middle of town, just swiveling around looking for shots, knowing that nobody wants to get hit by this. He's taking a look at that T92. Unfortunately, he knows that guy is a little bit too fast to take a quick shot at. So he decides to pull towards the middle of town here, hoping to find shots. And sure enough, there's a T62. The T62 is truly an unsophisticated, unsmart human being. He chooses to ignore a gun with an 800 Alpha, and you can see he just drives around the map and just kind of ignores a JgPz. That's not a good strategy. It's not going to lend you well when a guy's going to just pound you for 800 Alpha shots. And Red did really roll low here, but he was able to pound this guy. So here's a situation. You're down by 200 points. It is 4 against 2, which is a good thing, but the mouse still has 783 hit points. Red can clear him, but getting a mouse hit in this is not good. He switches it to heat and smashes him for 788. That was the shot of the game. Brilliant move to switch it to heat there. Your heat alpha is a little lower than 800, but it rolled big. He's been rolling low all game, but one of them is going to roll big. Points are still high. This real genius here in the T62, I think, is just trying to hide. But Red is not going to have any of it and finishes him off with a beautiful shot and the ammo racking. Pop the top. Adios. Some nasty comments. Great job by Red. 4551 damage, 3 kills. 20 gold, by the way. Way to run the gold booster. He knew he was going to win this one. So terrific games, guys. Really great masteries. I hope you enjoyed these. More to come on the channel, so please subscribe, and really appreciate you watching these fine games. Congrats, Red and Arthur. Thanks for sharing, and have a great day, everyone.